time that just got resolved that we talked about earlier. Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, so we've, our union was on a strike that lasted almost a year in the video game space. This was a very tough challenge for our members. It was an interesting experience. So we represent the talent in video games. Usually that is people who provide their voices. So if you think about most console games, they have some element of human voice. We also represent some motion capture performers who do some of that game work. I don't know how familiar everyone is with the video game business, but there's a lot of growth going on. Most of the growth is at the smaller game level, not necessarily the console business, but there are titles in the console business that are making a lot of money, and a lot of the big budget blockbuster games resemble big budget blockbuster movies where you have actually really large casts putting in days and days of work on this. And we represent them. We were looking to get fair compensation for our members who do this work, commensurate with the value that they bring to these games. And the reason this was such an interesting challenge for us is that we're used to operating in spaces where the on-camera talent or the voice talent is the thing that's being sold. So when you think of the motion picture business, usually it's, you have a handful of stars who are the faces, no disrespect to the producers and writers on this panel, but usually it's a handful of stars that are what's selling the picture to the major audience. With sound recording, it's usually the lead vocalist. With video games, much of the value is coming from the developers, the programmers. Yes, our members deliver a lot of value to the gaming experience, but it's not as much in the forefront of fans' minds. So it was a tough negotiation. We're still solidifying the deal. We were able to get recognition for the contribution our members bring to this game, to these games, and our voiceover community is largely happy with the terms that were negotiated.
I just thought it was important to bring up, given we're at Digital Hollywood, and a lot of what we discuss at this conference is related. And I was just wondering if SAG-AFTRA is now, if you guys are researching in your area and studying how immersive entertainment, how are you going to commodify and structure deals for talent?
That's a really good question. We're definitely looking at it, and for any of you who are either members of SAG-AFTRA or have employed our members, you know that our contracts are very long, dense legal documents. So the question that you raise is something where we have people who are familiar with the business, we have people who are actually doing the work in this business, and we work with lawyers to figure out what's the best way to structure these agreements. The challenge that we're seeing in immersive immersive entertainment like AR, VR, there's a lot of different production models out there, and we're still waiting for a dominant one to emerge before we nail down what